billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fourth session of Wadilo na Wichar. This session is special simply because we have Mr. Mohamedraza Janmohamed as a guest, and he is not only socially capable of doing this interview, but also religiously. Plus, I can also talk with him in Gujarati and English. Speaking of which, આપણે શરૂ કરે એની પહેલા એક મહાવરો. પીપર પાન ખરંતા હસતા કુપરિયા ધીરે બાપરિયા હમ વીતી તું વીતશો. Sounds complicated, but bear with me. Pipar pan kharanta. When the yellow leaves were falling down, hasta kupariya, the green leaves used to laugh at the yellow leaf. Then the yellow leaf replied to the green leaf, Dhire baparya, hum viti, tum vitso. What we are going through, you will follow sooner or later. On this note, please welcome Mr. Mohamedraza bhai Janmohamed. Mohamedraza bhai, thank you. અમે શુક્રગુજાર છે, નોટ ઓનલી હું પણ આખી કોમ કે તમે આ વખત લીધા અમારી સાથે વાત કરો. વાલેકુમ સલામ વરહમતુલ્લાહિ વબરકાતુહ. મદ્રઝા ભાઈ, તમારી ઉંમર શું ને તમારો જન્મ ક્યાં?
મારો જન્મ છે જંગબારમાં.
અચ્છા,
ઝાંઝીબાર. Because my mother was from Zanzibar. And at that time the cultural practice was that the first child is always born at the grandparents of the parents of the mother. So I was born in Zanzibar, but I lived and was raised in Mombasa.
Okay. આ તમારો જન્મ કઈ વર્ષમાં થયું? So
1958.
1958. તો તમારી ઉંમર હમણાં કેટલી છે?
66.
66.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Inshallah. ખુદા તમને 100 વર્ષ સુધી રાખે ને હેલ્ધી રાખે.
બસ ઇલાહી
આમીન. મદદ જંગબારમાં કઈ ફેમિલી તમારા નાના બાબા?
અલ્લુ, જાફર અલ્લુ. હસનેન અલ્લુ ના ફાધર ને મારી મધર ભાઈ બહેન થાય.
Oh, wow. Okay. Excellent. Now, what made your father move back to Mombasa?
No, he was
in Mombasa. Acha, you just went for the delivery and then...
I did not go, my mother too.
Obviously. Mombasa કેટલા વર્ષ રહ્યા હતા?
40.
40 years.
More than 40.
And then you came here.
Yes.
What prompted the move from Mombasa to...
So we decided to migrate. My children were young. We decided to migrate, and I had a couple of friends who suggested that I come to the U.S. Though I did not know a single person in Orlando when I landed. But Alhamdulillah, I landed in New York first, just for half a day. And there were 2-3 મોમિનીન હતા જે અમને રિસીવ કર્યા, લોકોના ઘરે રાખ્યા. સાંજના અમે પાછા ઉપર્યા પર ઓર્લાન્ડો. We came here. મરહૂમ જાફર અબ્દુલ હુસેન was our contact.
આ નામ તમને મોમ્બાસાથી મળ્યું આ બધાને?
And Jafar sent his people to receive us at the airport and kept us at Taki Junior's house for 2 good weeks.
Masha.
And we were not a few. We were a large family. We were 8 of us.
કેવી રીતના 8?
હું મારી ઘરવાળી ને મારા 4 છોકરાઓ ને મારી મધર ને મારી ફઈ. We were a whole family.
Wow. ને આ મરહુમ તમને 2 અઠવાડિયા એના ઘરે શા માટે રાખે? તમને તો ઓળખતા પણ નહોતા?
It was his goodness. There is many more things that he did for us than just keeping at his home. Then we got an apartment. We went into an apartment. The children started going to school and all that. Alhamdulillah. We had to struggle, but Alhamdulillah, we managed. So far, so good. Alhamdulillah. Allah કોઈને મૂકતો નથી ને અમે નથી મૂક્યો.
તો તમે જ્યારે મોમ્બાસા નીકળ્યા તમે શું વિચારતા હતા કે હું 8 જણાને આવી લાંબી સફર વિધાઉટ એની કોન્ટેક્ટ?
અલ્લાહ ઉપર ભરોસો, બીજું કાંઈ નહીં. There was nothing else. We can't say anything else. Only Allah and Allah only. He made all the arrangements and he looked after us. He actually held our hands and took us through to many things.
Masha. On that note, Mohamedraza bhai, તમે કબ્રસ્તાનમાં તમે હો, નમાઝ પઢવામાં તમે હો, દુઆ પઢવામાં તમે હો, કાંઈ પણ ઇલ્મી ઓલું હોય તો તમે અમારા ડિફેક્ટ મોલાના. પણ તમારા નામમાં ના મુલ્લા છે, ના આલિમ છે. When did this change came around and what brought?
હકીકત એ છે કે હું આલિમ નથી. I am not an alim. But when the community needed, હું કોમની સેવા કરવા વાળો. I have served Mombasa Jamaat in many capacities. In my youthful days, I was also the chairman of the International Young Men's Union. I've served in many capacities there. But besides, when the community needed anything, I was available in the sense that I had to make up for whatever was required. આપની પાસે અહીંયા જ્યારે અમે આવ્યા ત્યારે રેસિડન્ટ આલિમ હતા, મૌલાના અલી ઇબ્ન અલ હુસૈન બાકરી. એ હતા, આશિક કરમાલી હતા, અને એની પહેલા મરહૂમ જાવેદ જાફરી હતા. But then when the need arose, okay, we needed to get somebody to take hold of the mihrab. So I was told to do it, though very reluctant and hesitant. I did take it up as a challenge. However, Marhum Muhammad Hussein Karmali, Malim Muhammad Hussein Karmali, he was not only a mentor to me, he was my teacher. He actually fed me everything that I needed on how to progress with this, how to do the Jummah khutbahs, how to do majales, how to do salat and everything. Alhamdulillah. So losing Malim Karmali was not only a big loss for the community, it was a personal loss for me as well. Alhamdulillah. And things grew from there. થોડું ઘણું મને વાંચવાનું શોખ હતું, એટલે I could read and then prepare and all that. Alhamdulillah. That's how it started.
Very good. મોહમ્મદરઝા ભાઈ, એવી રીતના તમારા બાપા તમને મોટા કર્યા, તમે કહી શકો કે તમે તમારા દીકરાઓ સાથે એવું જ વર્તાવ?
Times were different, discipline levels were different, the environment was different. અગાઉ જ્યારે અમે મોટા થયા ત્યારે we were children of the community. કાંઈ ભૂલ કરીએ, which all children do, so anybody in the community could hold our ear. When we came here, મારા બચાવ નાના હતા, except of Mazahir, બધા નાના હતા. But the environment was different because I was a madrasa teacher for a very, very long time. I had taught in madrasa in Mombasa for more than 25 years. And when I came here, I was in madrasa for more than 15 years.
So you were a malim?
I never had a title. Titles do not make any difference. I wanted to serve. And the privilege that I had is I could talk to anyone in the community, and the children knew that when they were growing. And I was a very strict teacher in that sense. When we came here, Husseini Islamic Center was the only center, only Shia center. And I remember in 1999, December time or sometime when there was Eidul Fitr. At that time, we were not more than 40 families or 200 individuals. પછી IEC થયું, JIC થયું, Masjid Hai થયું. All these centers are Shia centers of Central Florida. Alhamdulillah.
But we were the first.
We've been the mother. We are the mother. Husseini Islamic Center is the mother of all Shia centers in Central Florida. When I came, the Kabristan was already there.
Established.
We had already bought the land
Okay.
with a few lots.
The present land is.
But each time I'm not sure how many, but about 10 કે 12 કબર હતી ખાલી. આજે 250 કબર છે. Alhamdulillah. But that is not reserved for Hussein Islamic Center members only. It is for all Shia Ithnasharis. Okay. So today we are serving all the 4 centers at the Kabristan, plus all the remote area residents that are there Shias, as well as the ex-Iranian community who are continuing to be Shias. Though when we initially bought this Kabristan, the history is there were very few people who, and we could not afford to pay for the whole thing. So we bought the first 100 lots. If I'm not mistaken, and if my memory serves me right, in 1995.
Okay.
And these lots were sold individually and in families. કોઈ ના 2 લોટ લીધા, કોઈ 1, કોઈ 2, કોઈ 4, whatever. And at that time, it was distributed by giving them certificates of specific lots.
Achha, reserved for you.
Yes.
Okay.
For your family or whatever. And title deeds were given.
For that particular lot.
So what happened is, we had to go up and down across based on, because deaths don't happen in a line. However, when the community grew, because there was a very big influx that came after 2001 or 2002, it kept on coming from all over the world. So, the community was growing, and it was growing, it's still growing. Like, for example, when I told you 1999 December, we were 200 individuals. Today, we are more than 1,500. In a span of 25 years, we have grown 7-fold or 8-fold. So we decided that we will go in line. Because we kept on adding lots, but we were not giving specific lot numbers at that time thereafter.
We stopped giving the title.
No, immediately, because we had the first 100 lots that were bought in 95 or so, thereabout. Today we have over 1,000 lots. Okay. And we cannot give this because we have to go in line. We have to understand that for burial we need space for the equipment to come and be able to access to the lot. એટલે એ સિસ્ટમ પછી કાઢી નાખ્યા અને 2010 જ્યારે we made burial assistance program. BAP. At that time, we requested everyone that તમે તમારા lot આપી દો બાપને.
Okay.
We guarantee that તમારું દફન માટે તમને lot મળશે. So what we did is we started going in line, but because we had those reserved lots, we could not go simply one way. So it was many times we have a few lots here, then we had to, because of blockade of a reserved lot, we had to go the other way around or go the other way around and all that. But Alhamdulillah, now we have, I think, just 5 plus 2 or 7 or 8 lots that are reserved. Besides that, with all of them, we are going in line with everyone, Alhamdulillah.
Excellent job.
Pachi 2010 pachi, when BAP was created, at that time, you must understand that the burden of funeral, burial and everything was on the family. Like when my father died in 2009, when she was taken to the funeral home, that our designated funeral home, I had to go personally to pay for it first before they could even receive the body in the funeral home.
Oh my God.
Early morning, and now this is night time. early morning, you had to go to Kabristan to do all the paperwork and sign and pay before they can even start opening the grave. So we brought up a general system that we take the burden as a community to ease it upon the family who is bereaved at that time. It is very difficult for a family who has a death in his family, especially if you are one adult, male adult, and the others are not, and you have to go and do the payment and all this. Plus the payment, at that time it was $2,600 for the entire burial. Funeral home, transportation, Kabristan, grave lot, and everything. But it was a big amount.
Yes.
To dish out $2,600 overnight is not easy. So we said that now we have the BAP program. BAP is paying for it. So we made arrangements with the funeral home and with the Kabristan that we undertake the payment, we undertake the paperwork, the family is free.
What a relief. What a relief
It is.
to all of
It is. I hope it is, and
Yes,
I
it
pray it is.
મદરસાભાઈ અગર તમે આ વાત છેડાવાનો હો તો મને લાગે છે કેટલા જણા છે જે આ ફેસિલિટીઝ એન્જોય કરે પણ નેવર રિયલાઇઝિંગ કે પ્રીવિયસ જનરેશન હેવ હેડ ટુ ગો થ્રુ સો મચ.
You see, when death happens to a family, they do realize.
At that time.
Yeah, of course, because they see it, right? They experience it. For example, as a phone આવે, કોઈ ગુજરી ગયો. So, Alhamdulillah, so far I go personally to their home or hospital, wherever it is, and prepare the arrangements with consultation with the family, and we do it. So when they, for example, they see that the transportation comes, the body is taken away, the funeral home takes it. Now we have our own ghusl kafan facility, so we bring it here, Alhamdulillah. When they go to the Kabristan, the paperwork is ready for them. They just have to go and sign. That takes about 3 to 5 minutes. And we are sure that paperwork is very intense.
Elaborate.
Yes, it is, because there is federal government involved. There is lots of things involved in this. So they see it, that it is a lot of ease. So Alhamdulillah, this BAP program has been extremely helpful and essential for the community.
મદરસાભાઈ તમે અહીંયા almost longer than anybody else with the exception of you. So you have a firm grasp on the history of HIC.
Alhamdulillah.
ટૂંકમાં તમે અગર અમને કહી શકો કે how this evolved, અગર ટૂંકમાં થઈ શકે.
Husseini Islamic Center in Orlando came into limelight worldwide because we were living like a family, extended family. We always have, we still are living as an extended family despite the numbers. Today, the facilities we created as we went along, the madrasa, the sporting activities, the social activities, the mosque, the Imam Barga and all that, Namaz-e-Jamaat, for example, all that attracted people to come. So people did come. And when they saw all these community facilities, however meager or however simple property je che, we were 200 people. ત્યારે તાનથી બેસતા હતા. આજે 1500-1600 માણસો થઈ ગયા છે, ત્યારે તાનથી બેસે છે. પણ this property has served this community for 25 plus years. Now we use facilities for madrasa, we use outside facilities for many things, school and everything, because time needs certain changes. But otherwise, Alhamdulillah, we always lived like an extended family. It does not mean there was lots of love. There is still lots of love. It does not mean that we did not have diversity of opinion.
Of course. हो जाए.
No, Even two brothers, ખોજાનું સવાલ નથી, એક માના પેટના બે છોકરાઓ હશે, they also don't think the same, even if they are twins. So this is normal human always. We had opinions, we have differed, we had issues that we went through, but we solved them and we move forward with it. Alhamdulillah. There is still a lot of love. We even differ in our opinions. As long as we are able to talk to one another, we are able to serve one another in times of need.
That's the
It's like two brothers living in two different houses. Does not make them different. As long as each of them is ready to be on call when the other brother calls him in times of need. And we do that, Alhamdulillah. Kabristan is one example that I gave you, but there are many things. I have served all the centers myself personally.
Mohamedraza, you lived majority of your life here and in Mombasa.
Ji.
What are the things that you reminisce or remember a little too much of life over there?
My mother and my father, both of them, they were very happy when we moved here. So things were easier for us to adapt here, and we did, Alhamdulillah. All right, I have some family left back home in Mombasa and Nairobi. Majority have moved out, but there are a few families. My cousin brother is there, my sisters are there, and my teachers I miss. There were my teachers like Marhumul Abdrasul. I miss such people more. So, but otherwise, generally, facility-wise, we created all facilities that we need here.
Yeah.
We, I mean, the whole community together. It's a collective effort. It's not singular effort. Alhamdulillah.
Very good. મોહમ્મદરઝાભાઈ, આપણે ઘણી વખત વાત કર્યા છે ને જુદી જુદા ટોપિક્સ ઉપર વાત કર્યા છે. સમ ઓફ ધેમ હેવ બીન સો ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ. તો હું તમને ખાલી મેન્શન કરીશ, પછી તમે ઇફ યુ કેન એલાબોરેટ ઓન ધેટ. So one of the interesting sessions we had was when you talked about the relationship between a father and a son and not being friends. You can elaborate on that.
Joe, times demand that we be friendly with our children. I want you to note that I'm saying being friendly, not friends. A father and a son can never be friends. They can be friendly. Why? One of the reasons is friends have no barriers. Between friends, as a mane ne tane, as friends, we have no barriers. When it comes to parents and children, there is a barrier. And that is respect. Just a small hadith that one day there was a guest that came to Amir al-Mu'minin Imam Ali alayhi salam at his home with his son. Now the culture as well as what is required is that once the meal is served, the host washes the hands or pours water for the guest to wash his hands. So Imam stood up and washed the hands of the father, but did not wash the hands of the son. And then asked Imam Hassan alayhi salam to come and wash the hands of the son. After this event, Imam mentioned, okay, do you know why I did not wash the hands of your son? If the son had come alone, I would have done it myself, because he was my guest. But because I did not want to give the son the impression that he is an equal to his father, so I called my son to wash the hands of his son. So we have to understand that the respect level has to be there. You cannot cross that bound absolutely, because Allah does not like it. Friendliness is different. Friendliness is you are able to talk to each other frankly and nicely and give advice because you have seen more life than your child.
Murabi, the relationship between Azadari and Iman.
Azadari is an extremely important aspect of our lives. There are two things that if we instill in our children from childhood, they will bring back the child even if he is lost somewhere in his life, if he goes out. One is salat, namaz. That is the pillar of our deen. The other is azadari. When we instill the prayers and azadari in our children, if he has done it sincerely and thoroughly, even in his childhood, it will bring him back, inshallah, because that realization will come with salat and azadari. Salat is the pillar of religion. You can't compare it with anything else. Salatu umududdin. It is the pillar of your religion. Emphasize salat, and we know we all have shortcomings. So our sixth Imam tells us that when we all need shafaat, which means help on the day of Qiyamah. In very simple terms, it means help.
Right.
Who do we get help from? The Ahlul-bayt alayhimus salam. But Imam has warned us that those who take their salat lightly, not that they are not praying, they are praying, but they are not conscious of their prayers, or they are not doing it in time, or they are lazy about it, or whatever, will not even smell our shafaat. So we must emphasize salat at home, at our centers, at every place, as much as we can to our children. And azadari, of course, is an action of love. We should not even look at it, કે હું આવી રીતના માતમ કરું છું એટલે that is better than ઓલા આવી રીતના માતમ કરે છે. Because those are cultural practices of how we do this azadari. It's okay. Unless there is something wrong against the Sharia, then it is different. Then it has no place. But otherwise, how we do azadari can change, and it will evolve with time also. Azadari ma main cheez is baka, which is crying. That is the most important. Crying over Imam Hussein alayhi salam and Ahlul-bayt alayhi salam's atrocities committed against them and their troubles is the most important aspect of our lives. It softens our hearts, and at the same time, that is a show of love. When our parents die, we cry. We don't laugh. Because crying shows our love to our parents, and that we will miss them. Similarly, our Imams are more than our parents. And at that time, if any dua comes out of our heart,
While crying.
while you are crying on Imam Hussein's Masaib, a dua comes out. It is, in fact, many ulama say that when you are crying in the Masaib of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, whilst remembering Imam Hussein alayhi salam, pray for something. Inshallah, Allah will give it.
Son, one last one-liner, and this might be a little controversial, but the division of labor between husband and wife.
There are many things that we take out of context. And excuse me for this. Many times we hear, and whenever we've had issues, marital issues that we want to solve in a family, we get this point that, oh, Imam Ali alayhi salam used to help Bibi Fatima alayhi salam with housework. My husband does not do this. My response is very simple. Imam Ali alayhi salam did help Bibi Fatima alayhi salam as much as he could, willingly, out of his own volition, not because Fatima Zahra alayhi salam demanded it. Because there are lots of responsibilities that a man has, whilst there are other responsibilities that the woman has. When the marriage of Bibi Fatima and Imam Ali alayhi salam happened, the very next morning Rasulullah goes to their house and he asks Imam Ali alayhi salam, how did you find my daughter? This is for us to learn from. And Imam Ali alayhi salam's response was, she is the best partner in the ibadat, the worship of Allah. Then at that time, Imam Ali, Rasulullah took his stick that he used to hold and drew a line outside the door of the house in the sand and said, everything outside the house is your responsibility, Ali. Everything inside the house is your responsibility, O Fatima. But the advice is when Amir al-Mu'minin was helping Bibi Fatima, Rasulullah became extremely pleased with that action and he expressed it. So we should help our spouses at home, must not demand of each other. We must not demand of each other. Let us create that love between the two of us, the spouses, and the way we live is the love that will go into our children. If I say my child does not understand, he is too young or she is too young and that they don't understand the nitty-gritties of life, but I am fighting with my spouse, be assured he or she does understand. It's growing in her. She can't express, she can't tell you what she's feeling.
Right.
But you have heard that when a woman fight, mother and father fights, a 2-year child will try and get under the bed, for example, to hide. What is that action? It is there. So if we create love within our family, and family life is the basis of community. So let's create love in our families. We will create love outside, inshallah.
So on that note, Murabbi, people would say that Mohamedraza bhai hardline hai. Mohamedraza bhai's views are on the other extreme.
I'm not. I feel that we have to look forward to understanding Deen more. Okay. Now, when we come to majalises, that is the only aspect now left for us to learn from. Whoever the speaker is, it is his responsibility of the speaker who sits on the mimbar, or stands on the podium, or sits on a chair, doesn't matter. He is giving a sermon on behalf of Rasulullah. So he knows his responsibility. Okay? We take whatever we can and try and implement in our lives. That is very important. Majalises are extremely, extremely important. And we must respect it. We must come for these Thursday night majalises, the wafat, the shahadat and the wiladat programs that we have. Sit in the majlis. The maximum we have, with the exception of the Ashri Muharram, is 30 to 40 minutes. We can't give that much time to understanding our deen, then how are we going to practice? Are we going to practice in ignorance or what I feel is right or whimsical the way I find it? And it's not going to work. I feel we need to understand deen more.
रब्बी 10-15-20 वर्ष પછી તમારો ગ્રાન્ડ ચાઇલ્ડ આ જ સિરીઝ જોતો હશે, what advice would you give him?
Be firm on your deen.
Be firm on your deen. એના સિવાય બીજું કાંઈ નહીં.
Because you see, deen is a regulator of your career. So whatever career you are in, whatever business you are in, whatever profession you are in, deen is a regulator of the career that you are in. Allah has given you an open choice that these are my boundaries, these are certain things which are haram. Besides that, the world is yours. I created for you. Pick your career, pick your choice. But whatever you do, be under the regulation of your deen. like Amir al-Mu'minin used to say in the bazaar, okay? O tradesmen, rules, rules and rules. Learn your rules of trade before you trade. The emphasis is know your responsibilities so that you do not fall into sin or into crime or whatever. Learn your deen, and even if it means basic to what you need in your day-to-day life. But you pray every day, so you should know the regulations of prayer. You fast every year, so you should know the regulations of fasting. Okay? You are trading, so learn the trade, the regulations, the restrictions, the permissions of that trade as far as deen is concerned, and you will inshallah prosper both in this world as well as the akhirah.
One last question, Rabbi. You have seen several presidents come and go in this community. What are the qualities that made some of them very effective?
I cannot answer that question because I don't have an answer, but I will tell you one thing. Whoever serves in sincerity to Allah's cause and the Ahlul-bayt alayhimus salam's cause is successful by Allah's standard. That's all I can say.
So, Mohamedraza bhai, whenever you approach a youth and say, "Have tame our position, those who have done a lot, and we need you to come in and continue this good work."
I think your question is wrong.
Okay, correct.
We don't tell people to come and lead.
Sorry.
We tell people to serve. In whatever capacity you can, serve the mu'mineen, serve the followers and lovers of the Ahlul-bayt. In whatever capacity. Even if it means just putting the shoes right on the shoe racks.
But do it.
When you start serving, you will get that sense of what needs to be done. What more can I do? How much more can I serve? How much more dedicated can I be? And that is how you will grow.
Excellent answer. Awesome. Any parting thoughts, Rabbi? Something that I might have missed out or something that you think is important for the community to know?
I would say participate in the functions, where especially where there is something where you can acquire knowledge of the deen, and serve the people.
Rabbi, thank you so much for spending time with us and sharing your wisdom and knowledge. We are truly grateful, and not only for this interview, but for your presence in the community. Like you treat everybody as your children, we also treat you as a big brother and a father. So,
Inshallah. May Allah accept.
Amen. Ne આ તમે જેટલાને મેન્શન કર્યા છો, those who help you and those તમારી ફૂઈએ જે હતા અને those who are not present in the world anymore, we recite a Fatiha. Bismillah. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our fourth session of Wadilo and Wichar. Inshallah, we will find more interesting people like Mohamedraza bhai and have more of these sessions.